I grew up in a small Midwestern town in the late 80s. We had three things: corn, church and cable. And only one of those worked consistently. Back then, cable TV was a mess of static and ghost channels. Sometimes, when you flipped between stations late at night, you'd land on something strange. A half-aired infomercial, a looping weather map, or a preacher talking to an empty room. But in 1989, we got something different. It started with colours, reds, greens, blues, pulsing across the screen like a heartbeat. Then came the sound, warped music, like a nursery rhyme slowed down and dragged through mud. And then the programming began. I still remember the first time I saw it. I was 12, home alone. I flipped past channel 76, static, and then suddenly a jolt. The screen turned black. Then a cartoon came on, cheap animation. A man in a giant, toothy, smiley-face costume was skipping through a park filled with balloon trees and smiling clouds. The voiceover was strange, cheerful but distorted. "Smile Man, Vo. Let's all smile for the Smile Man. If you don't," he might frown back. The character stopped skipping. It turned slowly to face the screen. The mask's smile widened with a wet, stretching sound, like something tearing beneath the latex. The music cut off. For several seconds, the screen just showed the Smile Man staring, unmoving, then static. I sat frozen, every hair on my body stood up. I tried telling my parents. They dismissed it, just some weird cable bleed. But other kids at school had seen it too, different episodes, same channel, same Smile Man. One kid said he saw an episode where the Smile Man stood over a house, just stood there for 20 minutes. Then a door opened and a scream was heard. Another swore the Smile Man said his name, his actual name, and told him to come outside. I know, it sounds like a campfire story, but it spread. Kids started staying up late to catch channel 77. Some taped it on VHS. Others claimed they heard it even when their TVs were off, that if you listened carefully in the static, you'd hear the Smile Man humming. Then came the first disappearance. Kevin Lawrence, age 11, lived 2 streets over. One morning, his mom went to wake him up and found only static playing on his TV. No sign of forced entry. His window was open, and his sneakers were sitting by the bed, neatly placed. The police found nothing. But that same night, Channel 77 aired again. And this time, the Smile Man had a new friend. It looked like a boy, same age, same hair, but off. The skin was too pale, the eyes too wide, and the smile. Someone at school said it looked like Kevin. After that, kids stopped talking about the channel. Parents started unplugging TVs at night. Some even got rid of cable altogether. But I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I started recording. I kept a tape in the VCR every night. Eventually I caught it again and again. Each broadcast was worse. One showed a suburban street at night, filmed from a low angle, like something crawling. Another showed a living room, identical to my own, but the clock ticked backward, and the shadows didn't match the furniture. One tape simply repeated the phrase, "He sees you when you sleep," over and over, in a voice that was almost but not quite my father's. I tried to show the tapes to others, but every time I did they were blank. Only when I watched them alone did the images return. One night I woke to static. I hadn't turned on the TV, but there it was, glowing in the dark. The Smile Man was standing at the end of my street. I recognized the houses. He just stood there, staring at the screen. Then slowly he raised one arm and pointed. The tape ended. My room went cold. The VCR spit out the tape without being touched. I moved out a few years later, got far away from that town. I still have the Channel 77 tapes. Can't bring myself to throw them out. They're blank now. At least I think they are. But sometimes, if I fall asleep with the TV on, I'll wake to static and a familiar hum.